the darkest night, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial we carry on. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial we carry on. Surviving together, we stand tall. United forever. Strength and courage will overcome. Surviving together, victorious, and never, never alone. Hand in hand, we'll face the unknown.
We see you, we hear you, and we believe you. Hi, everyone. How you doing tonight? You've landed at Surviving Together, safe space for sexual assault and other trauma survivors to connect with each other and share in their healing journey. And to all of those who support us, welcome here tonight. Let's see who we have. Tommy Stiggs stopping in saying have a great show. Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good evening. Body Illusion, I'm glad to see you as always. Maureen Frick, thank you for stopping in. I am glad you are here. Cranky, hello, you made it. Yay. How are you feeling, Cranky? Oh, Shannon, hi. Oh, you've got a headache. Okay, yes. Go, 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 go. And I hope that goes away soon. I'm planning on going for at least an hour tonight, guys. It's a lot going to depend on my head. It's been a rough day, and I definitely have one brewing. I took some regular medicine, but not migraine medicine, so that we will make it through this at least. Deidre's taking her night meds because it's late over there, and but I wish you well, and thank you for stopping in and watching. Nina, welcome again. Good to see you. Echo, I'm so glad you're here. Ned, I am honored. Misha, I owe you some information, which is sitting right here actually on my desk, and I need to get it over to you. We have some awesome news, at least with Deidre. I'm going to announce it, Deidre. She is taking possession of a new place. Yay! At the end of this month, January 31st. And guess what? Crystal M is not here yet, but she is taking possession of her new place, and she accepted an offer on her trailer. We are so excited for her. So she gets to start moving in on the 31st, official, I think something about the 8th. But anyway, I am so happy for you guys. You get settled in the place that you're going to be longer, and it's just a new start, and it's wonderful for everyone. Ben, Bacon Bits, how you doing? Glad you stopped by. Oh my goodness. Are you okay, Ben? I mean, I know you're in Arizona, but geez, I did not know it was getting over that far. Wow, 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 wows. And speaking of echo here, I am going to be, Ned, could you throw up Living My Best Life at 60s channel? So Saturday, I will be live at 3 p.m. like normal. Topics still to be determined. Kind of depends on how today goes. This might be a two-parter depending on how my head is, but we'll see. But I will be on her channel talking about whatever she wants to talk about. We'll talk about my story, my trauma, something else. It does not matter. So it's going to be a question mark, but it should be good. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be on Saturday at 3 p.m., my channel, 7 p.m., her channel. So that'll be wonderful. And let's see, did I miss somebody who carried it? Janet, hey, she's on the road. Okay, good. Just say hi to everybody, and that's it. And just listen, sit back and listen. That'll be absolutely enough. Yeah, Ben, are you getting a lot of the smoke over there? I mean, I imagine it's coming over, but geez. Oh, you work it with math and things. Oh, interesting. Like where it might go and how fast it might come and all that. So interesting, interesting. No problem, Misha. We'll see you in a few. Um, I think that was actually it for the announcements for today. So we can get right in. You're dealing with the okay, so Ben's dealing with it with electric power. Ooh, yeah, that's got to be bad. I wonder how much of the infrastructure. I mean, you see the fires and the homes that they've destroyed. You don't think about the infrastructure aspects of it, like phone lines and things like that. I hope a lot of those are underground now, so that it's not as bad as if it would have been coming through like in the 70s when everything was above ground. But wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect. Um, since I won't be on tomorrow, I am just going to do a shout out to my mom, whose birthday is tomorrow. She is going to be 75 years young. Very thrilled. We're going to be having family dinner with her tomorrow. So that'll be nice. She has chosen that she wants to get Chinese food for dinner. So that is perfectly fine. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night for her birthday. So very happy to celebrate that. And that both my parents are still alive and still around to actually do that. Um, today, we are going to at least start on finding your purpose. The reason I chose this is I don't know if Mercury is in retrograde and Venus is in Saturn's house or what. I mean, I don't follow any of that stuff, so I don't know. But it seems like everybody in my world has just gone absolutely crazy. Um, just a lot of crises around with a lot of different people. It's not just one or two. Literally, I have taken about 6 calls this week already from people who have had one thing or another gone wrong in their life and has kind of blown up. I kind of had one today as well, so I have no idea what's going on. But I wanted to talk about this, and not only from when we talk about finding your purpose or finding your life's purpose. I've often said that I know that helping survivors, helping trauma survivors, and particularly sexual assault survivors, because that's kind of where I come from. It's my passion. It's what I want to do. I feel like it is my sole purpose in life, and once I am able to, I would be happy to run this channel full time, whatever that meant. However, if that meant putting out more videos versus doing more lives or doing more lives, whatever it is, if I can support myself doing this full time or doing this plus doing, say, talks, education, I'd be happy to do that as well. But as I'm talking about this, I want you guys to think about this also on a smaller scale. It doesn't have to be what is my life's purpose, It doesn't have to be what is that thing that is pulling from my soul. You might not find that right away. You might not get to that connection. And I don't want you to become discouraged in your search for this by thinking, I've got to figure out what my life means. What was I born to do? And different people kind of take a little bit different tact to figuring this out. Hi, Primo, how you doing? You've often asked yourself that question, Cranky. You think you know what it is. Well, that's great. That's great. And how did you get there? What process did you go through? Was it just a matter of asking yourself or figuring, how did you figure it out for yourself? I've got a few tips, some questions that you can ask yourself to help you along this journey. And it really is a journey. I do encourage you that if you're uncertain of where to start, that you really do start a journal, start writing things down because it can help you be able to look back and say, I thought of that, or I didn't think about this in that way. Why is it so difficult for a lot of people to figure out what their life's purpose is or what a purpose in life is? And that's where I want you to go. I'm breaking this down a little bit because sometimes thinking about that big picture is just too difficult. So you start on a smaller basis. What is a purpose? What is a reason for me to get out of bed in the morning? What drives me? What am I interested in? What are my passions? Do I have any hobbies? And these are all things to start thinking about as you think about, where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing? You did a lot through meditation. And that's great, because that's a good way to think about, to be able to get in touch with yourself. And we're going to talk about that and how important that is in terms of looking inwards. But I want to speak first a little bit about, why is this so hard? Well, a lot of it comes down to all the external stimuli that we have in our life, whether that's from other people, whether that's from the technology that we have, the work that we're doing, anything that you are taking in from outside yourself. Getting bombarded with, you should be doing this or you should be doing that, or looking at other people and what they're doing, or just the things that keep us busy, keep us out of boredom, the Instagram, YouTube, scrolling, TikTok, whatever it happens to be for you. And when you are looking for what your purpose is, you really need to focus on that you, because this is unique to you. You are a individually unique person based on your life experiences, what you've gone through, the DNA that you were built with, the culture that you grew up in. All of this has shaped who you are right now. So you can look for inspiration from others. You can talk to others. But what drives you, what's inside of you, we really do need to look inward for that. We search and search and search, looking for something out here, going, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find. You're not going to find it there. It's in here. And so meditation, or at least sitting quietly with yourself to kind of get started, is a great way to get in touch with your inner self. If we just sit quietly and we close our eyes and we try and just concentrate, you're going to have a lot of thoughts going through your head. And you got to get through that first layer of thoughts, the negative thoughts, the daily thoughts, everything that's just kind of going on in your head. You need to bypass all that, get it all out. And then there comes this moment of quiet. And you may go, okay, all right, this is great. I've got nothing in my head. But you need to stick with that. And eventually, you will start to connect with your inner self. You will start to hear your internal voice. And it can take a while. This isn't like just a one session thing. It's a practice to be able to get through that external layer, to be able to then get through that just total quietness, to be able to connect with your inner self, your inner child, however you want to think of it, that true, pure piece of you that is inside, that is uniquely you. It's not what others tell you you should be. It's not what responsibilities that are placed on you that make you be something. What do you want? And there's questions that you can ask yourself to bring that out. Because just sitting there and waiting for your voice to go, okay, this is what I want, may not get there for you. You definitely, you may need some prompts. Hang on, guys, I got to make sure that my chat is working. Okay. So, what are some things that you can think about in terms of your purpose? Well, do you have certain goals in life? Because thinking about it in terms of goals versus life's purpose, that might be a more manageable thing. And it could be as something as simple as I like helping people. So I'm going to go volunteer 1 day a week doing whatever. Or I know my neighbor needs a little extra help with X, Y, or Z. And so that's what I'm going to do. You don't have to wait in terms of action until you think that you found that soul pulling big huge life's purpose, right? You may not feel it. You may not get there for a while. You may not Maybe you've got a lot of different interests. Maybe you're one of these people who has 10,000 hobbies because you're so interested in so many different things. So then it's a matter of kind of honing it down and figuring out which of those is the most important to me. In in deciding, in feeling what that life's purpose is, I think to me, and the most important things is, are you passionate about it? Does it bring you joy? And when you're thinking about these things, think about them irrespective of the responsibilities that you have, your time commitments, your financial ability at that moment. Because you may find or you may think you figure out what your life's purpose is, but implementing it may be difficult because there are a number of people who find their life's purpose, but they don't engage in that life's purpose because it feels too far. It's going to require me to do X or Y or Z, and I don't have that. And we can talk about what to do in that case. How can you break it down? How can you start on that path? You start small, do little things. So reflecting on your passions, and it's not only what you want now. Think back to when you were a little kid. Was there something that you really liked to do? Was there something that you were passionate about or were always happy when you were doing it? But for whatever reason, it ended up falling by the wayside. So that's another way of digging inside yourself and seeing, where do I think my life's purpose is? What is going to bring me the most joy in life? There is something that you, as your own unique individual, can give the world that no one else can. Because even if it's somebody else who figures out that helping sexual assault survivors is something that their life passion is, because it is for many of us, but we're all individuals and we all bring something different to the table. We can present it in a different way. So don't be discouraged because you think, oh my gosh, so many other people, feel like that's their life's purpose. It's something for you. You cannot think about others when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is. Think about your strengths. What are you good at? What did you used to be good at? Something that may have fallen by the wayside. What do you think that you could be really good at if you developed that skill? It may be something that you're going to have to learn and to hone in order to be actively engaging in that purpose. So think about your strengths. What are you good at? Exploring your values can also be really critical because whatever your life's purpose is, it's going to align with what your values are in life. And this is why I said in the description, this is about setting goals, it's about setting boundaries, and it's about finding a purpose. Because knowing your values, knowing what you hold dear, those are going to assist you in saying, this is within my scope of something that's okay. This other stuff is outside of that. And I always say you need to know yourself in order to set those boundaries. Because if you don't know what's inside or outside, you don't know where to put them. So thinking about your values is that's going to really, I think it has to go part and parcel with identifying what you're passionate about because they're not going to be separate. What you figure your life's purpose is not going to be outside your values unless you are looking at it and figuring, this value that I held here, it's actually something different. And that's possible too. Be open to the possibilities. You may discover it's something you hadn't really thought of before. It was interesting when I was doing some research for this that hi Jimena, how you doing? Give me just a few minutes if you have to hang there, okay? There was a gentleman who said there are 7 main archetypes in life, and you will fall into one of these. And overall, I think I agree with him. So thinking about these different archetypes might help you decide where you fit. Where's your passion? Or maybe at least Xing off what's not. I'm going to list them quickly and then I'll go through them just a little bit more. But it's healer, builder, artist, king, knight, Vedyan, and goldsmith. Those are the 7. Hey, LV, how you doing tonight? Glad you joined us. So the healer, this is somebody who wants to help other people healing mind, body, soul. So not only thinking of our doctors and our nurses and people in health profession, but I put in here the clergy, people who are aimed at your soul, whatever that is. And it may not be within an organized religion, it may be something beyond that. Those are all going to fit within the healer archetype. Then there's the builder, the people who like making something out of nothing, whether that's construction, whether that's design, people in tech, um, anything of that nature. I can 100% tell you this is not me. Boom. I know that that's off the table. Healer, well, I do like helping people. And I like thinking that what I'm doing and helping people along this journey is helping to heal, whether you want to call it a soul or just healing the inner child. So maybe that's where I fit. Going down the line, there's artists. We have a lot of them here. Definitely not me. I enjoy my paint by numbers. Um, I don't mind some performances. This is not what drives me. This is not what makes me happy in life. When I speak to some other people and they say, I love painting, it is my peace. Or I love getting up on stage and performing or dancing. It brings me the most joy in life. These are the people I know fit into the artist category. It's definitely not me. Some interest there, yeah, but not my archetype. Then there's the king. These are our leaders. These are people who like to lead, whether it's leading the company, leading politics, leading the community, whatever it is. These are the people who like to organize and lead our people, and hopefully in a positive way. The knights are the people who assist the kings. So these are all our administrative people. These are also all our protectors, firefighters and policemen and the army and all of those types of people that would fall into this archetype. The Vedian is the seeker of truth. These are the people who want to share knowledge. These are our teachers. I can tell you that of all of these, thinking about the healer, going down to this, I think this is definitely where I fit more. This is my archetype. The last one is goldsmith, and these are the people who manage the money. So it's going to be bankers, it's going to be business people, anyone who enjoys exchanging goods for service, running companies in that field. I think in general that covers most things. I don't know if there's some other ways of thinking about, categorizing people. I mean, you can categorize different personalities and things, but I found it interesting. And it's just a way of thinking about ourselves and thinking, where do I fit in life? If I had my druthers and I could do anything that I wanted to do, where do I fit? So it's just something else to think about. Some other tools in your toolbox in figuring out what your life's purpose is. Some other just in general things that we can look at. I talked about your purpose needs to come from within. It's something that is you and you only. But there's nothing wrong with talking to others around you. They may have something to say. They may say, you know what? You're cooking. You're cooking. Everybody loves it. You make for every bake sale. The neighborhood comes for your Sunday dinner. So you may get some input from others on things you didn't really think about as being a life's purpose. Seeking inspiration from looking externally, whether that's podcasts or YouTube videos or books. There's nothing wrong with looking for inspiration. What you don't want to do is say, that's it. I'm copying that. Because whatever that is that person's way of doing it. You need to find yours. Because again, I'm going to go back to it. You are 100% unique and you bring something to the table that nobody else does. You just don't realize it yet. Or maybe you have. Hey, Flick, how you doing? Oh, ALV, I will link it in the description. He is called the Grim Something. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. But I can link the video in the description for you, ALV. I'd have to look at, I've got it on my playlist. I can look it up for you. Let's see. Setting goals. This is, as I was talking about, instead of looking for that life's purpose and searching and searching until you figure out this, setting goals for yourself and wanting to get to X point or wanting to get to Y point. When you set those goals and you work towards those goals, whatever those are, in whatever type of category they are, you may find that, this isn't really where I want to be. I'm working towards this goal, but I'm working towards it just because I set it and it's not really what I thought it was going to be. I'm not really happy doing this. So maybe you're on the right path, but your goal needs to be a little different. So it can be a very good way of breaking things down, especially if you're trying to implement your life's purpose. Let's say you think you figured out what you want to do, what you should be doing. Setting goals in order to get there can be very helpful because it's kind of daunting just looking at, okay, here's my life's purpose. How in the world do I do this? I will speak from experience that I always was drawn to helping survivors. I helped in the legal field at first, then I helped with the domestic violence shelter. Um, then I helped with SA victims themselves on the days that they were brought in for their forensic exams. And then I kind of fell into this. And it wasn't until I fell into this that I figured out, yeah, this is it. It's working directly with people. It's being able to give whatever knowledge, whatever experience I have to help others on their healing journey. I'm never going to go back to school to be a therapist or a psychologist. I'll certainly learn as much as I can to be able to help as much as I can. So while I always felt drawn to this area, it took me 30 some odd adult years of figuring out what I was supposed to do. I really thought it was law for the longest time. Now, law intersecting with sexual assault victims and survivors, absolutely. I love it. I do love it. But the law really does come secondary to this. So if I can't combine them, I'm happy letting that go by the wayside. Carmel, hi. You're supposed to be in bed. What are you doing up? Go away. How are you feeling? I'm hoping that you're feeling just a tad bit better by the fact that you're actually here. Practicing mindfulness. And we kind of started with this as we were speaking with Cranky, and she was saying that she did meditation. it really takes a lot of internal thought, and you have to be with yourself, alone with yourself and your thoughts in order to figure out what it is that you want. So if you're constantly surrounded by stimuli and you never have a moment to yourself, if you're never taking some quiet time for yourself, I encourage you, even if it's 5 minutes to start, even if it's the first 5 minutes of your day, even if those first 5 minutes when you wake up, the only thoughts that are going through your head is everything that you got to do that day, at least you've taken that time. And try and increase it just a little bit more. I would encourage you to at least get up to like half an hour of quiet time a day, saying, "This is for me. Nobody disturb me during this time." And whatever you need to do in that quiet space, whether it is just practicing mindfulness to ground you in today versus all the other things that you've got to worry about, and all of that getting so overwhelming that you just kind of need to bring it back to now and just have some peace within this particular moment, or whether that's to use that time to really try and quiet your mind to be able to talk to your inner self and feel what's inside there. I mean, it's just it's amazing to look back and see the journeys and how they've taken us to where we are now. Sometimes it's not always where we'll end up, but us coming all together, in my opinion, is serendipitous. I agree. I have met some amazing people, and I never would have, save for this. I have met people who would not have thought of coming into a trauma channel and now are, and being able to interact with them, whether it's because they're thinking about something in their past, going, huh, maybe I've got some unresolved trauma that I need to deal with, or it's just because they want to support people who are and learn how to do that, as we spoke last week. It's absolutely wonderful to be able to have such a diverse crowd that has come together through the internet. It really can be an amazing tool if we use it properly, which means not using it a lot of the time, I think. Getting stuck down our rabbit holes and all of that. You are in bed, Carmel? Good. Well, just you keep resting. Keep resting and get rid of that sickness. The last thing I want to go over are some questions, and these are they sound more, if you have somebody who you call a god, or whether it's the universe, um, and if you don't have something like that in your life, if you feel you're, just a true atheist and there's nothing beyond yourself that you look towards at all, then what I'm going to talk about is going to be within you. So, three big questions that I thought were important, that could get us somewhere. And believe me, you type in "finding my life's purpose" in YouTube, and it just does not end. I mean, there's video after video after video after video. So there are a lot more resources out there. So if you're interested in this, and what I'm saying is just kind of tips you into wanting to know more about this, please research it, learn more. Hey, Thindu. I'm going to say happy belated birthday to Thindu, guys. He had a birthday yesterday. So happy, 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 happy birthday. Um, the first question that you can ask yourself is, who am I called to serve? And we're meaning in the greater population, right? Meaning of the people. What kind of person are you called to serve? For me, we know that's trauma survivors. That's where I'm meant to be. These are the people that I'm meant to be connecting with. The second question you can ask yourself is, what problems am I called to serve? So this is where looking at your strengths, looking at what you're good at. What problems in the world could I help with? And these don't need to be the world stage problems. Maybe you're really good at cooking. And so just making sure that every bake sale, or making sure that every elderly person in your neighborhood has food, or volunteering at the soup kitchen and cooking there. It doesn't have to be a problem, that's like world hunger type of thing. Think small. Sometimes it grows into something big, but a lot of times you find the people who are solving these larger problems, they started somewhere small, on a smaller scale. Because it can be really intimidating to try and go, right? Thinking of something, this huge. How am I going to solve this problem? We always say, break it down. So think on your smaller scale. But how am I called to solve these problems? So how can I help the hunger? How can I help the homelessness? How can I help, um, the elderly and being able to get around? You know, you may volunteer as a driver for people who are unable to drive themselves for whatever reason, so that they can get the doctor's appointments and dentist appointments and the grocery store or whatever the case is. So when you're figuring out what your life's purpose is, I want you to be very mindful that this is nothing that has to be this overarching, soul pulling thought or idea. You may have to experiment a little bit. You may think that you're called to serve this section of people. And maybe within that, you think you want to solve this particular problem, but maybe you end up finding your skills are more suited to solving that problem. So again, being open to figuring these things out, being open to that changing. And I do believe that we can look at this and our purpose may be different at different stages in our lives. I don't think that there is necessarily one purpose that you were born to do, and that's the only thing. Maybe that's the biggest thing. Maybe it is connected to your soul. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. But when you're young, it might be something different than when you're 60 and where you are in your life then. And part of it can be just a matter of how you are fulfilling that purpose. You may be able to fulfill that purpose very differently in your 30s than you are in your 70s, based on the time that you have, the financial resources that you have, support system around you, just where you are in your life. So that very well may change. And I think we need to be open to that change. So that's really what I have to say in a nutshell about trying to find your purpose. Um, it was really interesting. And Jimena, are you still here? Let me get a quick answer from her. She okay. Jimena, I'm gonna post the link here in the chat, and if you are willing to come up, that would be great, and we can talk about what happened the other day with us. Kamal says, I felt like helping addicts and did volunteer for 10 years. It was very fulfilling. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You may find now at where you are in your life, you still like helping people who are struggling with some issue. Maybe the issue isn't the same, or maybe the way in which you can help is much different now. It doesn't mean you're not fulfilling your purpose. So I'm going to add Jimena here to the stage. Hey, girl, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I'm glad you can hear. I'm going to turn my volume up just a second. So, guys, the reason I invited Jimena up here is we finally did a tarot reading for me the other day. And I had just I said just to ask the universe kind of what's going on, right? We talked a little bit before, and I said, some of the things I was interested in my life and what I wanted to learn in terms of my job or the channel or whatever. And what does the universe have to tell me? And I just kind of opened it up. And what did they say, Jimena?
So it was interesting because one of the most the answer of what we got was related to your project in life. So what you are meant to do and all of that. So it was related to following your passion, following your dreams, working hard, that you have a lot of experiences that you can use to help or to do anything you want. The only message that it had is that you don't have to have greed. That's the word.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you have to
Yeah.
be actually helping or coming from something that it's going to fill your soul. And with that, if you want success and money and whatever, it's going to happen. So it was interesting because you didn't actually set the question, right, Ale?
Right.
But you were it responded what you were actually wondering, like, am I going to be successful, am I gonna be able to help people?
Right.
1 second.
It was really amazing because we were just talking about it beforehand, and then we just kind of asked the universe, hey, what do you have to tell me? And basically it was telling me you're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Just make sure you are coming at it from a pure place and not a place of greed, of just wanting money.
Exactly.
If I
So
just want money, it's not going to work.
exactly. And you have all the tools, and your fear was that maybe you were not going to be able to succeed, or people were going to be seeing you as someone who is just wanting to profit. Ale, sorry, she's decided to scream while I'm here. She was
It's
very
okay.
quiet before this. So yeah, I think that was a very interesting reading. Also, it warned you about like what you need to be careful for, like
Right.
careful about people like pulling you down. So it was very interesting because you didn't say any details. It's just what happened. Like you just had a question, it replied, and I think like what was interesting for me is that it showed your fears and how people see you
Right.
and the things that are maybe holding you back. So it was like, at least when I asked if it made sense to you, you were like, yes, it did, and
It's like,
helped you.
okay, this is perfect. It just was like, life affirming, really, for me. It
Mhm.
was, it just, it said, yep, you're on the right path. And yeah, I think when you come up as a creator, if you're in this type of space where you're trying to get a message to people or you're trying to help people, particularly for me, since I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm just coming at it from my life experiences. I I sometimes wonder if people will want to see me because I'm not a profession in regards to that, say, well, what does she really have to offer?
But
She's
you see, you have a lot to offer because you said like what it said is your background and where you come from. Because I remember that it was about things that are coming your way from the future but are sustained from the past. And that's very interesting because it's everything you've lived so far is going to
right.
help you. And it's something we've like talked, but it was very beautiful to see that reflected in the cards because it's like it shows the hard work that you're putting. And so yeah.
Just told me to keep going. Keep
Exactly.
doing
And I
keep
think,
doing what you're doing, and success will follow.
yeah, I was trying
Um,
to see if I had like the picture somewhere of the reading.
it was where you sent it on the WhatsApp
Yeah.
on your thing. I can't connect that to my computer since it's on my phone. Let me say, while you're looking at that, I'm gonna just say hi to some people who came in. Seventh, hello, how are you? Um, David, good to see you. I hope things are going well for you. Who else came in? Dave from Boston. Hello, hello, hello. Um, you
I
know,
think you one of the like the questions that you have, I'm looking at the spread right now.
okay.
One of the questions that you had was, or your worries is that it's going to be something that won't last, that
Mhm.
it's not lasting. I think that was your like the worst, like your fear, the worst fear that showed here was, okay, I may be successful, I may grow, but is it going to last? And I think the answer, like everything that's saying here, is that as long as you're doing it from what, like really with the purpose of your soul,
Right.
then it's going to last and it's going to be successful and you're going to have a lot of things
Yeah.
coming your way. And I think that's like, it seems obvious in some way, but it's something that like we don't actually believe it ourselves. So for me it was a beautiful spread because you've like changed like you've had a lot of changes in your life, you've let go a lot of things, you've changed like I don't know, paths several times maybe from what I think, like, and you're trying something different and it's working, and I see that reflected here. And like you've won all your battles, like all the like, it's very beautiful. I don't know if I could, do you want me to show it?
Yeah, you can. I will just say this first before you show it. It was very affirming to me that I was on the right path, but it also for me was saying, okay, what is in my heart, what I want to do, this is going to be successful. Maybe it won't be always be this. Maybe it always won't be YouTube. But for me, it felt like it was saying, as long as I'm coming at helping survivors, because that is my focus, my true focus. This is just my means, right? This is just how I'm implementing what I feel my purpose is. So whether it's this, whether it's I'm going to do talks, whether it's, however that ends up looking, that yeah, that we're good, that we're on the right path with this, and don't worry about it. Things will play out the way they're going to play out, and it'll still be, you know, still be great.
Yeah.
So And that's why I was telling you guys that, don't get locked in to implementing what you think your purpose is or how you want to help the world into one particular way and say, well, that didn't work, so obviously that wasn't my life's purpose. Not necessarily. It may be the way you were implementing it. It may be that you were just meant to be doing it in a different way. And so that's where you kind of have to play around with it. And all of that, again, it depends on, your resources, your time, everything that's in your life. So don't be afraid of change in pursuit of what your goal is, however far out that goal is.
Oh yeah, and I was trying to like remember like what we were saying, and I was trying to. I think that, like I told you, the Midas touch. When you touch everything, you turn it into gold.
Mm-hmm.
If it's from the heart and if it's from the soul, and whatever you do, it doesn't matter where and when, it's going to be successful. So I think the big message here, because you were in a moment of doubt, like, what am I doing here? And
Right.
it's, no, you're on the right path. And I think that's something wonderful. And I really thank you for letting me be the channel of that message, because I think you needed that message that day.
I did. And I, we've been talking about doing it for a while, and I think that it just said, okay, no, keep going. Yes, you're doing it. I've had a lot of changes that I've been making, behind the scenes to things, working with the algorithm and all those kinds of things. And was wondering, should I really put all the effort into doing that? Is that really going to make a difference? Should I really be? And so, yeah, the reading was very much affirming. So you have that picture of it?
I have it, yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
let me show it. Just trying to find it. I have so many things open here. ¿Dónde está? Okay, window.
Actually, I wonder if you're going to be able to show it because you're not. Oh,
It
yep.
is there.
There we go.
So I don't know, like I don't know how clear it is, but it is here. You can see it's a spread. It's a Celtic cross,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like, it gives a lot of information. These two cards represent you. You are like going through, like you've went through a lot of trouble. You've went through a lot of things, and you were feeling stuck at some point. But you also have the tools to, or information to start new like endeavors or new projects. So that's like you're coming from a place of, I want to do something, right? That's what I'm going to do. This is that you are concerned about like the money and how it's going to go, if it's going to be successful. So, but it's not what it's founding your question. It's more about what's making you ask these questions, because you're investing a lot of time and money and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
The things that like that is leaving is you've learned so much. You've changed perspectives. You've done a lot of things, and you are like finding a place now that it's like you feel comfortable with, and you feel
Right.
like, okay, I feel okay here. This is the hangman, that it's like it's living, because it's like you already tried a lot of things and you now found something that it's finally like you feel comfortable with, but you want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
Like I said, one of your fears, or the biggest fears that you were having, was that it's you're going to be very successful. Maybe there's a lot of things going on, but here this guy is sitting on a wooden chair. So that means that it can go very quickly, and this is a worry that you have, that it may not be long term.
Right. Right.
You also have people working with you that are offering you tools and are giving you information and are helping you be successful, and that's something that also people see in you. They see in you someone who's going to help them, and it's going to collaborate, and it's going to bring success to people. They're going to bring good news, and you're going to bring good news to them. So it's a team effort that you see here, that it's a collaboration.
Yeah, I learned so much from you guys on a daily
And
basis, whether it's in this live or
oh,
other
yeah, yeah.
people's lives.
And and here, this is like someone, like I told you, I have to. Do you want me to talk about this?
No, we can just skip over that one.
Okay, let's skip off this. So this is something holding us back, nothing to worry. And this is the result. The magician, this is a major arcana, and this card means that you have all the tools, you have all the knowledge, you have everything you know. The thing that it's upside down is that it's like you feel that it's being wasted. So what it's telling you this in this spread is that you need to turn it around and say, okay, I have the tools, let's use them and use them correctly. This is your strength. You come from very difficult situations in the past, so you need to break from the past and move forward. What it thought is, today I did another reading for you,
Right.
and this is the same card that we got. So you need to break with your past. So it's become like the second time that I do a reading for you, and you're getting this
Right,
card.
right. It's just like,
Let's
no,
break
don't
with the
think
things that are
about
holding
that
you back from
stuff.
the past and
Just move forward.
move forward, and like break with everything that's holding you back and do something great, right? And
Right.
the last card that was there was the like the one in the top. Oh,
Ah, that was a casserole that I made my son. It went
sorry.
wonderful.
I
David,
was,
thank you. Thank you for the thoughts. And he's been eating it all week. So,
yeah. So this one is like the Midas touch. Everything you're going to do. It means success. It doesn't mean necessarily money. It means success.
right,
It
right,
means like a lot of things. So everything you do, as long as you are working from the heart, using right, like the tools right, everything is going to be successful, and your fears don't need to be there. So in general, it's a wonderful reading. You can close it. Yeah, it's a wonderful reading in terms of like the universe is telling you to go ahead, right?
you're right,
So
right. So,
I don't.
yeah, it kind of fell in line with, what I was thinking about, talking about, here. And, we've, like I said, I've heard from so many people lately who are questioning where they are, or whether it's with their life purpose, or whether it's with their job or with family. Just literally like 6 different people coming. And like I said, I don't know if Mercury is in retrograde or what the heck's going on this week, but it just seems to have been the time.
It's the year. It's a year of changes. It's a year, like it's a year that ends in, like it's a 9 year. So the number, it's like a lot of changes, a lot of things going around
Interesting.
us. So numerologically, it means changes. It means new beginnings. It means closure. So I think you and I can see that we are being affected by it in general.
Right,
So,
right,
but I think that when we say that this thing is affecting us, yes, but also remember that, okay, there's energies that are around us, and they're going to affect us, but it is us who decide whether we want to do something about it, and use this as a, I don't know, like as an incentive to move
right.
forward. I think
Exactly.
that's also something beautiful about free will, and that's why I
Mhm.
value free will so much, because it's in us who we get to decide what we want to do with our life. And we want to feel regret, or we want to stay like holding a grudge, taking like having revenge, or like having horrible feelings and wasting your time like hating people, or like a lot of things, like me, for example, that I'm going through a horrible situation right now in my life, like everything is crumbling around me,
Mhm.
and I can choose whether I want to stand up for myself and do something about it, or just stay there and cry all day. So I took my days off to say, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to cry everything I did, but I'm going to,
Yep.
like we say, take the bull from the, like the,
Take the bull
or
by
like,
the horns.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's thrive. So, and I think that's what the universe is trying to say. Like, do that, like
Yeah.
move on.
Absolutely. And I
And
think it's an important point though too, is there's going to be times of doubt in terms of are you on the right path? And there's going to be things that are thrown in our way that, may knock us off that path or whatever. And it's okay to take that time to
It is.
to grieve it, to just let it flow, to experience the negative, experience the negative feelings if that's coming along with it, because that's part and parcel. And then you say, okay, what can I learn from this situation? What was the universe or God or whoever trying, what were they trying to tell me from this? And let's
Yeah,
take that and
no,
move forward.
I agree completely. And I think that's why I love tarot reading so much, because when I feel stuck and I feel sad and I don't know what to do, it's just, or my angels, like, I'm very like spiritual and I work with my angels and all.
Right.
I always ask for guidance.
Sorry,
And
guys.
like, even though I'm like feeling like lost, I just want to remind me of Tommy
Right.
with the chapstick.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.
But yeah, it's whether you want to like get that advice from the universe, because it's always right. I've never done a reading and it's failed me. It's always a good advice, and I think we know it deep inside. So the things that are holding you back, you decide whether you want to stay there or not, but it doesn't mean that
Right.
you need to forget them. Let's
Mhm.
learn the lesson, grieve the like whatever you want to grieve, as long as you want to grieve, or you have, but you need to choose also to like stand up and say, okay, enough, I'm gonna do something about it.
Right.
But it's okay to feel like defeated, like I did yesterday. I was I was
Yeah.
crushed yesterday. I
Yeah.
was crying, like I've never cried so much in my life. Krumel had to call, like he called me yesterday, like, "You okay?"
Right.
Like, no, I'm not, but thank you. So like,
Yeah.
so but it doesn't mean that it's going to hold you back. Okay, so today it was a new day. I said, okay, I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to wake up. We struggle, like you, like,
Right.
and you know how we're like, it's not the best year. Like we didn't
Right.
start the year like in the best way possible, right? But we can turn it around. So let's see how we can make it better.
Exactly.
And that's what I
Exactly.
think the spread is telling you in this
Mhm.
case, to use to I was going to tell your real name.
Oh, it's okay. I think most people know it.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's still in my original videos actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
So
no
Mac.
worries.
So the universe is trying to tell you, like, yes, you've been struggling, but you're in the right path. You're in the right path. So
Flick Flick Fox says, one of your angels, you must be talking about
of
me.
course I'm talking about you. She's so lovely. Like when I'm feeling down, she's always like, she has the right words too. So you know what, I've been like, I've all these people, like this community we're forming. It's
Yes.
like with a lot of people who has very loving energies, and like they want you to be good and feel good, and that's something that I won't change for anything in the world. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And just briefly talking about the negative side of things, as we often talk, holding any of that in, all that negative stuff, it's just going to hurt you in the long run anyway. So it's okay. And then we say it, and I'll say it again and again and again, it's okay to feel those negative feelings as long as we let them go and flow. Let them flow through you, and then let them go, and not holding on to it, because that really can cause trauma inside you.
Exactly. And I think that's the beautiful thing about forgiveness. And forgiveness, not the other person, but also yourself. Like allow yourself to feel the feelings, to forgive yourself if you make a mistake, forgive others if they've hurt you, because that pain and that hate and that thing that you're feeling, it's only hurting you, not the others. Like for
Right.
example, I could, like right now, with whichever I'm going through, because I don't want to go as public as I wanted, but
That's
with
nowhere.
my family situation, for example, I could hold a grudge because of all the things that had happened, but I'm choosing to forgive, as hard
Right.
as it is, because it's only hurting me. So
Right.
also that's something that I think letting go and forgiving brings you peace. I think it's,
Yes.
but you need to allow yourself to feel that, and it comes after grieving and after processing and after feeling everything.
Yes, processing, that's a really good word for it. Just,
Yes.
some people say, letting it flow or whatever, but there's sometimes there is a lot of cerebral processing, things that we need to think about. And, how is this
Yes.
holding me back, or how is this, how do I want to handle this properly?
And I think that when you go back to where you feel like it's okay to go back and rethink. And like we've been repeating a lot of things. Like I repeat myself all the time, like, did I do this okay? Was this okay? Was it fine? Like I go back and like rethink everything again and relive
Mhm.
everything. And it's like it comes in waves. Sometimes I feel wonderful and sometimes I think I feel horrible. But we need to hold space for ourselves and say,
Mhm.
okay, it's okay to feel bad, and it's okay to you feeling okay one day, and then you're gonna go back to the grief, and then to the pain and the anger, and like
Right.
you're going to denial. All of that is going to happen all over again, like in waves, and it's
Right.
okay.
Right, exactly. And that's life, right? And so,
Exactly.
tying this into when we're looking for our life's purpose, realizing that life doesn't stop, right? As we're trying to figure this out. And so some of these things that may be negatives that are coming at you, maybe it fits into that journey somehow. And
You-
so always looking at these things, whether it's negatives or positives that are getting thrown from you from external,
and I,
possibly this is something that's, working into how you will implement whatever you feel your life's purpose is.
John, my friend, right? Like,
Yes, yes.
so yesterday we were talking about something, and he said, I know you're feeling sad, because he knows me. Like when we had a call yesterday with some people, and he saw me and he saw that I was not doing okay, that I didn't sleep like for 2 days, and I was feeling like crap and all. But he told me maybe all these things that are happening is a way of washing everything negative in your life to bringing new things to your life. So this wave
Yeah.
is washing away everything that you don't deserve, that you don't like, everything that is negative and is holding you back, so you're able to receive new things and to receive the blessings. And I loved that analogy. I thought it
Yeah,
was very
absolutely.
wise. And I think that perspective helped me change my mindset a little bit. So it helped me sleep better last night. So
Carmel says you look very much better today, and you sound
yeah,
you
he
sound
told
better
me I was a
today.
mess.
So
I was like crying and I'm sorry. Yeah.
I want to say hi to William from Brooklyn. He's here. He says hi to the chat. Carmel says you ladies are making a difference for sure. Never doubt that. And so that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mike F, welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. He says two wonderful women here. If nothing else, you have opened my eyes, ears, and
Oh,
mind.
what a beautiful comment.
He said, I have been learning a lot from the bushes from these two channels. So,
Oh.
one of my wrenches, if you could throw up Jimenez's channel, I would appreciate it. It's on hiatus right now, but it might be coming back.
It
So,
might be coming back because I've received so many good comments. Like yesterday, I was reading all the comments, and not only there, but like people were contacting me on Messenger, WhatsApp. They were sending me messages, like female called me, like, and I was like, okay, that's like that made me feel so
I
much
think
better.
this is the universe telling you something. It's
I think it
hinting.
is. I think it's. So I'm taking a break just like for a couple of weeks because I'm gonna have a live to like this Friday with James Simpson.
Okay,
We're
Friday.
gonna have the live. I think his story is worth telling. Um,
Absolutely. Are you going to do it your normal time?
it's going to be 2 p.m. Central.
2 p.m.
So
Central.
I think
Okay.
Tindu goes at 2 p.m. Eastern. So after Tindu, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
If he doesn't change the schedule, but I was planning because he normally goes at
Well,
1 my
2 p.m.
time.
Central is 3 p.m. Eastern
Yeah, so 3 p.m. Eastern should
is when
be.
you'll be
I'll
on.
be with James. Yes,
Okay, perfect. On your channel.
on my
Wonderful.
channel. Yes, and I think he has a wonderful story to tell. And like I said,
Absolutely.
it's part of the series that I'm doing, that Journeys to Light.
Hmm.
I think like we've normally focus on the trauma and the negative, and I'm always depressed after I talk about my trauma and that. But if I turn the mindset to the positives and the lessons that I've learned, it makes me feel better about myself because I see how far I've come. after all the things that have happened and makes me feel better. So hopefully this series is going to help people feel that way too. So and this one is about asking for help, and I think that's something that, especially coming from a man, is
Very much so.
yeah, because normally they don't ask for help. So I think that's very valuable to listen from a man.
Now,
So,
Jimena, can you give me your email one more time?
magic of healing your soul at gmail.com.
Your soul. I knew there was something else on that
I
Gmail.
did, like the other one was already taken, so I had to add your soul there.
Okay, so I've thrown that up on onto the screen for you guys. If you want to contact Jimena directly, there is her email. She does do tarot readings for
Right.
general public, and it's a very nominal cost, so you can speak with her about that directly. She also does things with crystals and angels and all sorts of wonderful rituals.
I'm
So
starting healing therapy that it's like with the Hebrew pendulum, that it's for energetic cleansings and like physical like healing and all of that. So it's a beautiful one. It's like Reiki, just a little bit different, but it also works with chakras and all of that. So I'm also doing that now.
So if you guys are interested in any of that and want to speak to her more directly just about it or about getting a reading, please email her at her email address and she'll be happy to get back to you. So we'll be looking forward to your live with James then on Friday. I will definitely, I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but I will definitely catch the replay on that.
Thank you.
Adrian came in while we were here.
Hey,
Flickbox says it's 8 p.m. UK.
And Body Illusion is here. I haven't
Yeah,
seen her
Body
in a
Illusion
while.
is here. She stopped at the
I've
very,
missed you.
very earliest. Oh, there we go. So Janet
Thank
threw up your
you.
channel, and so you guys can go over there and check that out. And Carmel has thrown up your Journeys to Light.
Thank you.
You did one where you did your own story, correct?
Yes, I did. Well, my grandparents' story. It was a very emotional one. But yeah.
Yeah, so that was the start of her series, and so James will be continuing it on.
And hopefully you'll be part of it too.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Whenever you want me, wherever I fit
I
in.
want to have you and Teresa from Wounds to Wisdom is going to be there too.
Nice.
Living my best life at 60 also is going to be there.
Oh,
So
Echo's going to be wonderful.
there's some men who would like to go there because there's a lot of women, but I also want to get like James is going to be there, so that's a wonderful.
Exactly.
That's why I wanted to start with the guy, because we need to we need to like bring more male voices, I think, to this community also that are helping other men, because I think now they are reaching a little bit more for help. And
I see with my audience, it's almost 50-50 at this point, which is really interesting because I don't see quite that split in the chat, but obviously people who are watching behind the scenes are, there's a good section of the male population that's getting it. Now, just briefly, your Journeys to Light series, what is the purpose of that? So if somebody wanted to say, yes, I'll tell my story, what kind of things are you looking at?
So we're going to talk about trauma, about all of these things, but I want to give it a little bit of a twist. I want to talk about gratitude and the positives. And I know it's difficult to see the positives when we're going through trauma, but I do want to know about the lessons, about the things that they found in their lives that are like help them thrive and help them succeed, and to keep that focus on how to heal and be better. So my channel is focused completely on healing, and we are going to honor our trauma and all the bad experiences that we encountered while showing the light even in the darkest places. So that's why I started with my grandparents' stories, because they had a life that was very difficult, and
their resilience in life was
Exactly.
just astounding. Their ability to power through the things in their life that would have just stopped other people in their tracks and said, just no more.
And that's why whenever I want to quit, it seemed like I see a hummingbird. Or yesterday, Frank Sinatra song came in the radio, and I was like feeling so bad. Like, okay, I need to like pick the pieces up and like continue, you know.
Right,
So
right.
that's the thing, that it's like, what makes you say, okay, I need to go on and it's going to get better, because
Mhm.
life always gets better. And you have to wait. It comes in waves, and there's a lot of people going through very negative things, but there's always light. And that's what I'm trying to find in my life, and I hope that it's going to inspire others to find their light in their lives. So that's what Journeys to Light is about. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good, great. You know what? I think that's a really great place to end for today. I hope you guys have gotten something out of this. I know that I've seen a lot of you with your comments are saying that this has been a very interesting topic for you. And I'm so glad that you came on, and you just perfect. You just backed up exactly what I was talking about. And yeah, that reading was something else in
And
terms
thank you for
of what
having
we
me
had.
and
So
for trusting me to
absolutely,
give that message.
100%. I appreciate it so much. So, okay, I'm going to say bye 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 to you, and then I'm going to
Yes.
say bye bye to everybody.
Bye.
So, see ya. All right, that was Jimena. She's Magic of Healing. Her channel we've thrown up. And David, I did see your messages, so thank you very much for those. I've been trying to go along with the chat. Flickfox says, I want to hear more male voices too. It's super helpful. And I 100% agree, whether that is, coming from the trauma side of it and really explaining that and how they see trauma, because it is different. There's differences between men and women. I mean, just face it, and how they're raised and the expectations that are put on them, and then their own internal expectations from society. It does shape how we think about things. And so hearing it from people of all different walks of life, all different genders, no matter how you identify, it's been wonderful. If any of you are interested in sharing your trauma story with the greater SAS community here, please email me, survivingtogether@gmail.com. I'd be happy to have you on the show and walk you through that experience. Some people don't quite know how to tell their story, and I'd be happy to help you along with that. Please don't ever, ever feel like you don't belong here because you don't want to share your story, or feel like you don't have a trauma story. That's totally okay. I found that I love really getting into the nitty-gritty with some people and finding out how they have experienced their trauma. And some people are at the very beginning of their healing journey. Some may have not even quite gotten out of their trauma situation yet. We're all at different places, but I learned so much from each and every one of you. And I'm so glad that you are here and that you have been supportive. I appreciate and I'm honored to serve this community, because I do truly feel like it is me serving you. And I could not be here if it weren't for you wanting to take this information and to be here with me. So thank you all for that and for being here with me tonight. Please remember, you are worthy, you are valuable, and you are loved for who you are, just the way you are. Surviving together, never alone, guys. Well, hugs and love from me. Outro coming soon, but for now, I'm just going to give you a 30-second countdown to say goodbye to everybody, okay? We'll see you on Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Bye, guys.